up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host and colonel and dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and resident superstar, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian?
What's going on, fellas? How we doing on this here holiday of ours? How we feeling?
Doing good, feeling good. We're live, and yeah, that's
a little
good.
early.
And early. Oh, yeah. We're recording at 12:30 in the afternoon right now. So if you're catching our stream, what's up? Hopefully you're having some good food at your 4th of July picnic. That's like the only thing I care about on 4th of July is like the food, you know? Like, who
What's
cares
to eat?
about America's birthday? Like, give me some good dang food, you know?
And a day off.
And a day off. Also joining us here in the virtual studio is the heavyweight podcasting champion of the world, JJ Purdom.
What's up, boys? Yeah, I am. I have not eaten yet today. I'm kind of like saving my stuff, my strength for a little bit later because I'm gonna put a hurtin' on a barbecue in just a little bit, and then I'm gonna also be putting a hurtin' on the bathroom right after the barbecue. They kind of like work hand in hand, you know.
Yeah, I see that. I get that. Do you guys have any plans for 4th of July stuff today? Obviously not right now because we're here recording a podcast, but
Right.
Do you have any like get together? Do you plan on trying to see fireworks? You're just like, I've seen it before. I'm good.
I mean,
So,
go ahead, JJ.
well, I was just gonna say what you guys call fireworks in the state of California. We give that to the little kids to play with. Over here, it's highly the illegal mortars that go off in the air. Like that's like everybody's doing that stuff. So it's like if you have any kind of issues with guns and blowing up and like post-traumatic stress, you've been in the war, you don't want to be in my neighborhood tonight because honestly, you'll probably be having flashbacks of, you know, Viet Cong coming at you and whatnot. So, like, honestly, it's explosions all over the place. It's also going to be just like how it's going to be in my bathroom after my barbecue in a little bit. Same.
Full circle. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What are you doing to your barbecue that's making you have all these stomach issues? Like, are you undercooking the meat? I don't understand.
That's
Like,
none of your damn business, Garrett. It's
all
none
right,
of your
all
damn business. That's a little personal. You know what I mean? This is a podcast
asking
about video games, man.
I was asking about the
Let's not
cooking,
talk
your
about my
recipe.
dietary habits.
I know I wasn't. I was asking about your recipes and your cooking credentials here. Because if you're getting sick, maybe you're doing something wrong. I don't know.
Again,
I need to leave the meat on there a little longer.
I'm gonna go right back to the whole. That's a family recipe, and it's a
Okay,
secret for a reason.
Top secret.
But you need
All
to
right.
like chill your roll there. Okay, you're asking a little too many questions, Copper. You know what I mean? You're kind of like a detective and whatnot. You need to just chill.
I
mean-
Garrett equals feds.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at the Fed hat he's wearing. You smell like a pig, like
That's
right
true.
now.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean?
Hey,
How do you do, fellow Pepsi enjoyers?
This podcast is brought to you by Pepsi. I gotta wear the hat. I don't have a Pepsi on me right now, but I forgot to put it in the fridge. I didn't want to drink a warm Pepsi on the podcast.
While Adrian's
You mean a
sipping on
regular
gin and
Pepsi?
juice.
Oh man! At least Pepsi has some semblance of patrioticness, you know. Like Coca-Cola, there is just red, like the communists, you know.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, they don't come out with American flag cans every year, but whatever.
Oh man! Alrighty. Well, today we're going to be talking about Metroid Prime rumors again. Some nasty God of War fans, and Sucker Punch's unfortunate announcement. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Kajoma, Bumple Smash, and Eddie Martin, and our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates and Mama Mare. Thank you so much to you folks for supporting us, as well as the rest of you guys. We couldn't do it without you. We honestly couldn't do it.
Literally, we can't.
Really.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate it so much. If you want to be awesome like all those folks who support us, go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can support us starting at just $1 a month, get episodes early and ad-free such as this show or our other show, Super Gamer Book Club, hosted by Adrian over there. A brand new episode is out right now that you can only get on Patreon. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, with special guest Jeremy Schmidt from Video Games, a Comedy Show. Fantastic guest, fantastic game, fun episode. That was a great one.
Yeah.
So support's over there to get that. If you're on the fence, you're not sure if you want to support us, you want to check out the Super Gamer Book Club, see if it's worth the support, which spoiler alert, it is. The free episode this month is What Remains of Edith Finch, which is just me and Adrian. No special guest, but that was a lot of fun too.
That was a fun one.
A really good
fantastic game.
So go check that out on all your podcast apps or youtube.com/supergamerboys. Just search for Super Gamer Book Club. It'll come up there. Watch it, listen to it, check it out. And then please go to patreon.com/supergamerboys and support us. Now, do you want to reveal the upcoming episode for the end of this month?
I do.
All right.
So the upcoming episode for this month is actually going to be Unpacking with special guest JJ.
Yay! That game is going to be so much fun. We've got a lot to talk about. There's so much to unpack. You see what I did there? No? Okay.
I'm just keeping you on your toes,
Well,
okay.
Hey, brother, look how I see how I roll. I roll like a fat guy falling down. No, wait. No, that would be pretty apt. Yeah.
No, our actual episode upcoming is going to be on the original Xbox. I think it was 2004 first-person shooter, Star Wars Republic Commando, and that's going to be with our special guest and friend, Mr. Nate Boba Fletcher.
Heck yeah, getting Nate back. It's been a while since we've had a show with him, so I'm excited. He talked Hades with us back in the day, so I'm excited for.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, excited for Republic Commando. It'll be a good one. By the way, I do want to mention I just want to ask real quick. What are you going to be playing it on?
PC.
Okay. I own it on PC, but I also saw it was on sale on Switch, so I bought it on Switch. I know it's not what you're playing right now, but this is just a quick little PSA. Let me tell you, the Switch version is so broken.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Supposedly, it's supposed to be... So the one on PC is technically like a port of the original, so there's no upgrades, no nothing. It's it's rough because it's old, but it works.
Right.
On Switch, it's supposed to be the HD upgrade edition, blah, blah, blah. In the first level, there's points where I tried to just run around a corner and it will not let you turn. Like there's certain points where like the controls get hung up on something invisible. Like it won't let you turn right. So I literally had to turn left all the way around, to look the way I needed to go.
The game wanted you to do a 360 before you shot somebody. That's what it
wanted
was.
me to do a 360 nose. It's like forcing me to do that. I'm like, oh no. Like that was just in the first level. And at first I'm like, oh, maybe it's just this intro area. And then I got to the next area and I kept doing it in certain hallways too. I'm like, no, I noped out and I just went back to PC. So I'm playing it on PC as well. But I don't know. Maybe it's just an issue. Maybe I need to reinstall it. Maybe the install was corrupt or something. But I was so
crazy.
frustrated with it.
I mean, it's an original Xbox game. I don't feel like it runs on
hard.
Right. You can run it on your phone, pretty sure. I'm sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Nate's playing on Switch. So I'll be interested to hear what he says about it. But
yeah.
I had that issue. So I was curious like what you were playing on. But yeah, I'll be playing on PC from here on out for sure.
Good call.
But yeah, we'll talk more about our Patreon later. Shout out to Jack Sriracha here and Yate. If you didn't notice the beautiful music in the background here of our show, that is by those folks. So check them out. Links in the show description below for both Jack Sriracha and Yate to Spotify. You can also find them on Apple Music and I believe iTunes, Bandcamp, those places if you want to purchase their music for sale. Go support them. Awesome folks. And we appreciate them allowing us to use this music without copyright striking us,
It's pretty nice. I can tell you that.
Pretty nice. All right, it's now time to check the mail.
All right. Purdom.
You know what? This is all me. This is my bad, guys. I got nothing. I had last time
Nothing.
it was
Boy, that's some good fat guy roll in there.
Yeah,
It's a good fact.
not well. Normally we're good at that, but
I know you weren't expecting to do it this week.
I was not. No.
Dude, I literally
was trusting.
Okay, JJ, I literally sent you the bottle rocket so you could shoot the mail to me on the bottle rocket. That's all you had to do. Like
right.
Then
it would land in Garrett's office and it would be full of letters just going everywhere.
Did you set them off last night? I told you to wait for the show.
Well, what ends up happening is there's some people over here with PTSD, and like when those bombs are going off, like they nut out, and like we were accused of being Viet Cong at one point, and like so I had to get the kids to go back inside of the house. So I'm so sorry. But I got you next week. Don't even trip, boys. Like,
well, we don't need him next week. It's not the 4th next week.
Yeah, I literally set up a firework intro for our mailbag segment just before
He cut
the July.
a hole in the roof for where it's supposed to come in.
It's like 110 degrees in my office because the AC is just going right out the window.
Okay. Next week, I got a Christmas themed one next week.
Okay.
That is gonna blow your red and green striped socks off. It's,
Whoa.
okay, you know what? You ruined it. You just took.
Well, shoot.
Honestly, really,
Sorry.
you leave nothing to the imagination now.
That's all right. I'll find the questions on the digisphere here.
Okay, good.
All right. This first question comes to us from Penguin90. They write, "What would be the worst place to live in a video game?" Yes, it can be from any video game. So let's hear it. What would
Death
be the
Stranding.
worst place?
Death Stranding's world, because the first thing I thought was like all of that scary crap. Like, oh heck no. Like, I want none of that with like rain that brings out crazy like demon
That
monsters.
ages you,
like,
that
I'm
hits you,
good.
and you age like 30 years in 5 seconds.
No way, man. Like, keep me away from that world.
Yeah, that would be pretty horrific. I was thinking of Yarnum from Bloodborne. I feel like that would suck pretty bad, you know? Like, it's just this city just covered in monsters and beasts.
And
that just,
snakes and guts and people and no thanks.
like, it's literally hell. Like, you walk in, it's just like...
But it's Victorian.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think that'd be the worst, because it's like this city just plagued by beast and haunted by eldritch like horrors. It's like, so not only is there physical beasts there, but then there's like invisible stuff all around you that's like ready to kill you at a moment's notice in order to like, summon some demon prince or something. So
So
it's
it'd be just
no,
like
I'm
living in
good.
upstate New York.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
sand.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Mine would be Planet Sarah from Gears of War. JJ, I'm gonna keep it light because I know you haven't played them, but E-Day, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Is why you wouldn't want to live on that planet.
Yeah, that'd be unfortunate.
Yeah, just living your life, and then all of a sudden, boom, that happens.
Man,
You'll find out one day.
Okay.
There's a lot of bad places to live in video games,
Yeah,
like I'm thinking like, oh, like Raccoon City, that would suck. you
yeah,
know?
that would be awful.
Man, even like what was the other one I thought?
Liberty City, Vice City.
Well, I was even thinking like Gotham City and all the the Arkham games, just like all this, like, well, especially Gotham City, that game, or sorry, Arkham City, like the whole city just being run by like all the bad guys,
Like a lot of clowns coming out.
Yeah, and like that just happens all the time in Gotham. It's like all hell breaking loose.
Do people still live in Arkham City? Wasn't there like a evacuation
I think you're right. Like
before they set that up?
Yeah, but still, I mean, those are someone's home, and they had to leave.
Oh,
and now they're
yeah,
being destroyed.
absolutely.
And like you have to go back once it all get clear. You move back in. It's like, oh great, my house is like torn to shreds.
What city do you live in Fallout 4?
That is Boston,
Right?
I think it's Boston.
Yeah, that would be another one because you get nuked.
Well, I mean, Boston Fallout 4 or Boston in present day, it doesn't matter. same thing. I don't know. It sounds pretty horrible. Oh man.
We just lost 3 viewers, they're listeners over
That live in Boston?
right now.
Well,
That's fine.
sorry.
That's fine.
They're like, no, that's the last time I'm ever going to hear an anti-Boston statement. Unsubscribe.
No, it's an anti-Boston statement.
Yeah, that was a wicked pisser.
Hey, Mando.
This next question comes to us from Shadow Ranger 02, and they ask, with the advent of the Steam summer sale, console game sales, if you were given $100 to buy any amount of games on Steam, which one would that be and why? So they want us to each give $100 worth of games for them to go buy, and I say that's too much work. But
That'd be a lot of games for me.
that'd be a lot of because a lot of the indie games are like what, $2 a piece or something right now
Right.
on summer
Like
sale.
between like 2 and 8.
There's a lot of killer set deals right now. But I figured we could take this time to kind of talk about the summer sale, whether we bought the game or not, kind of like some good deals we've seen that we've picked up. What are some things that you guys have seen on Steam or on PlayStation or Xbox that are like some killer summer sales right now?
I would be pre-purchasing Scorn right now on Steam if I had my druthers, because that game looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Body Horror City.
Horrific. I was actually gonna bring up my Steam library because I have picked some stuff up. So I was gonna see like Oh, you know what I picked up was Gary's Mod. This is an old game, but it's on sale for, like, dirt cheap. And a lot of people play Prop Hunt through. I don't know if you guys have heard of Prop Hunt.
I've heard of Prop Hunt. I've never been able to play it.
JJ.
Garrett, I'm having a hard time hearing. Did you say Garrett's Mom was a game that you picked up? No. I couldn't hear you.
Gary's Mod.
Oh my gosh, dude! You can totally imagine because I was like, I want to play that game. I don't know, but is that also on sale? I know that it's not cheap. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely not.
Are you picked? Yeah.
But I picked it up in hopes that, like, okay, I need to get some friends to pick it up so then we can. I think it'd be cool to do some Super Gamer Boys content.
Gary just said I need to get some friends.
It's in the cart. There you go.
But
it's
yeah,
in my cart.
Like, so JJ, for you who don't know, Prop Hunt is a game where there's like a team of hunters and a team who play as props, which you're dropped on a map and you can go anywhere in the map and you can turn into anything. So as a hunter, you have got a gun. As a prop, you can go up to a lamp or up to a phone or up to a banana or like anything that's on the map and turn into it. So you look like that item. And it's basically hide and seek.
Right.
But you can still move around though. So you, like, all of a sudden you could be a banana sitting on a counter and then all of a sudden, like, the person walks in a room, you just hold still, they're shooting everything trying to find you. And then you can, like, sneak out of the room and, like, go to another room and be a banana just sitting there or whatever. What's cool though is, like, every like 30 seconds or 60 seconds a taunt goes off, so like music will start playing to, like, give your position away, because otherwise it'd be impossible to ever know who you are. But I think that's a newer thing they add with the taunts, and it's so fun because it's just random. Fun. You never know when it's going to happen. All of a sudden, like, you're walking, like, through this office and, like, the computer monitor starts, like, playing, like, some song or something like that, and you're just like, what the heck? Like, boom, 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 shooting it up, trying to find them. So it's a fun little hide and seek game. It's just super goofy.
For just a moment, I thought that, like, the music went off and you can't help yourself, but you're like a banana and you're like, like, kind of nodding your head back and forth. It's kind of, I'm tapping my foot a little bit, like I'm giving away my position. Yeah.
Let's see. Another one I picked up is Escape Simulator. So after the Wholesome Direct, I got super stoked about what was that? Escape Academy, I think it's called. And so I was like, I need some good escape room games. And so I saw Escape Simulator was on sale. It's co-op. You can have up to like 4 people playing together. So I picked that one up. I think it's on sale for like $10 or $12. So I don't know. Those are just a couple games I picked up. Gary's Mod, Escape Simulator. That is
that the one where it's like, not the Academy, right? There's an Academy one.
Academy is the one that's coming out that we saw in Wholesome Direct. That one's not coming out yet though. This is another older one. I think it's been out for a couple years now. But yeah, it's the same. It's an escape room game without the
right
Academy part. The RPG elements. I think it's just strictly escape rooms that you're going, like, with searching for clues and everything.
But it's multiplayer.
Yeah, I think it's like up to like 4 players or something like that.
Huh. Okay.
So me and my brother picked it up, and so if we can get more people, that'd be fun.
So couple of mine would be Later Alligator. That's the one that I was talking about before in a Super Gamer Boys. That's the kind of point and click, in a sense, adventure game where you're going around the city, and it's a city full of alligators, basically.
I think you said this in a Super Indie Boys one time.
I did, and it's all hand drawn by a small studio, and it's kind of like it's a story game where you're trying to expose a really big conspiracy that'll, like, rock the city to its core. But the designs are really well done. It's funny. It's really good. That would be one of them that I would recommend. I just finished Eastward, which is it's an RPG that's it's an adventure and it's pixel art, and it has an active combat system, kind of like Secret of Mana. Phenomenal game. I ended up loving it. I don't know what took me so long to beat it, but that is definitely one that I put on my list.
Yeah.
If
that
you
one's
are
on sale, right?
Yeah, that one's on sale right now. Later Alligator is on sale for almost half off right now.
Dang.
And then if you love Roller Coaster Tycoon at all, definitely pick up Planet Coaster. That's like it's not the same team, but it's in that same spirit, like a spiritual successor in a sense. But it lets you build an entire park from start to finish. I'm talking about like what kind of characters you want, what kind of food stands. You can change the terrain like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and they have DLC that they do. So like they partner with different brands, or they'll bring out their own DLC. Like one year they had Ghostbusters for their Halloween theme that you can make, and you could get like Ghostbusters character walking around or make rides and stuff like that. Yeah. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. So on Steam, it's 75% off for just the base game. So it's $11.
Yep.
And then for you buy the whole collection with all the DLC, it's 62% off for $55. Like $55, and you get like all that killer DLC.
Everything. Yeah, which is like almost $200.
Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah, go check that out. I loved Roller Coaster Tycoon, and then there's one on the PlayStation 2 I played all the time.
Was it Thrillville?
Like, no, I think it's called Theme Park, something like that. It wasn't Thrillville, because I remember that one. My cousins had that one. I had like this other one though. That was so much fun, dude. I'll add that to my cart and think about picking that up later after the show.
Yep.
Killer. Cool. Well, there you go. Go pick up some of those if you haven't. There's a lot of fun ones, some multiplayer ones. So if you pick them up, let us know, and then we can play together. Like if escape room, if we can get 4 people, that'd be killer.
Bring it on.
If you want to play prop hunt, hit us up in the Discord, supergamerboys.com/discord. All right. One last question comes from CJM, and they ask, what is your most prized gaming possession?
So mine's pretty simple. I don't have very many gaming possessions, but one of my favorite things that I have is a PS4 Last of Us 2 controller that Garrett got me. And I absolutely love that controller. At one point, my daughter had taken the PS4. She got married and left the house. And she's like, I don't have a controller for my PlayStation. And I was like, you're going to need to buy one. And I let her go away with a PlayStation with no controller because she wasn't taking my controller. So that's actually my prized possession that is not one of my games, is my PS4 Last of Us 2 controller. So
that's awesome. It's like, sorry, babe, no controller for you.
Yeah, you might want to go ahead and buy one. Welcome to adulthood.
Yeah, you're married. You're an adult. You're on your own. Good luck.
Right. Yeah. Go find your own.
Yeah, she tried to do the bat and eyes, like, Daddy, but I'm like, yeah, no.
Like, but Daddy, I need one.
Yeah. No.
You know where to go. Best Buy. They got them on sale right there.
Right?
Man. Adrian, what about you? What do you got?
I bring it out every time. It's my Game Boy that I flew over 1,000 miles over to Japan to get. It's the Game Boy Micro that is based on the Famicom.
Famicom.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
And it came in a sweet box with box art. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh,
but it's based on like the NES.
Okay. Yeah.
Mario Brothers. I went to Japan, and that was one of my resolutions that I was like, I'm not leaving this country without one of these, because I've wanted one since I saw them come out. I just never had the dough for it because I was a young broke whippersnapper. And it is one of my most prized possessions that I actually use, because I don't believe in just buying stuff to have it sit, because what if I don't get a chance to use it? Then it just keeps sitting. It was built to be used.
Rots away.
Right.
Dang. That's awesome. So it plays Game Boy... Just Game Boy games, or does it do Game Boy Color?
It's a GBA.
Oh, it's Game Boy Advance. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know much about the Micro. It's something I've heard of, but never looked into. I don't really know. So
it's pretty sweet. I mean, it'll get you playing, and it fits right in the pocket, so it's much easier to sneak into places.
Man. So tiny. That's awesome.
I love that Famicom look, dude.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
It's so sweet. It was for the 20th anniversary of Mario. I don't think you can see it, but it's right up there.
See the little logo up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So these are they only ever sold 2 million of these, and these are like a fraction of that. So this is very, very rare to find in pretty good shape these days. So still doesn't. I still don't care. I still bought it to play it. So
Yeah.
whatever.
And for those who are listening on audio right now only, it's got that sweet Famicom look of like that burgundy red with the gold coloring. And
Yeah.
dude, it is gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
I'm jealous right now, big time. I did not know that you actually went to Japan. That's amazing. So
I mean, the trip itself was phenomenal, but this was just, you know, a tick on my list that I had to make sure I got done before I left. But yeah.
Man, we should have a whole special episode about him going to like Super Potato and stuff like that. I'm sure, you know.
Yeah, well, we're this close, so close to funding our Super Later Boys. So get over there and support us. We're literally like $10 away. Like we had like 1 or 2 more supporters, and hey, you fund a new show. So
we can
get
do
over
it.
there, support us at patreon.com/supergamerboys, and maybe we'll have a little sit down and story time with Adrian. That'd be fun. For me, I think, man, it's hard. I love my I really love my Death Stranding art book. So it has a lot of concept art and stuff in it, which like stuff that didn't make it to the game. So you kind of get like a behind the scenes, like, oh man, this game could have been like way scarier. There's like some crazy like horror element type stuff in there and some really cool story stuff. But honestly, if I'm being honest with myself, I think my most prized possession would be it's an original PS1 console. It's not my original from when I was a kid, but a buddy of mine was going through his mom's attic and found his old box from when he was a kid it had 2 PS1s in there, one working, one kind of working, and then like a stack of games. And he's like, I don't have any use for this. I know you do the podcast. Do you want this? And I was like,
you don't have any use for this.
Yes. Yeah, he's into PC gaming now. He's way more of a bigger PC gamer.
Oh, I see.
Not in the, he even had a Switch for a little bit and ended up like selling it. He's like, I never played the thing. Like, I didn't want it. But I was like, heck yeah, I'll take it. Like, thank you so much. Like, blew my mind.
Geeked.
Like, I never thought I'd have one. And so, yeah, I think that PS1 with like my original PlayStation 1 copy of Metal Gear Solid, like when I streamed it last year, playing that through that on that console, on that disc, oh man, it's so amazing. So I think that would be it though, like that PS1 console, a little piece of my childhood that I never thought I'd get back, even though they're not that expensive relatively. It's just like, when am I ever going to be able to buy, when am I actually going to actively go out of my way to buy one, and then to have it dropped on my lap, I'm like, oh man, this is
for
awesome.
For nothing. That's the big part.
It was so awesome. So thank you, Keith. I appreciate it if you're listening. All right. Well, that is it for the mailbag this week. Thanks for sending stuff in. Remember, you can send questions over on any of our social medias. Go ahead and DM us a question. You can email us to the website, or the best way to get a hold of us, whether it's mailbag related or otherwise, go to supergamerboys.com/discord, DISCORD, and join our Discord server where you can chit chat about what movies you're watching, what games you're playing. We can talk smack to JJ, or you can answer or leave listener questions, talk about the episode. It's a lot of fun. We got a cool community over there of people, so go check that out. All right, it's now time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy news.
Music to my ears.
Never gets old.
Alrighty. This first news story comes from GameSpot, written by Gabe Gerwin. Metroid Prime games are coming to Nintendo Switch. This says it's a report.
Here we go again.
The title says this is a report. I feel like that's mislabeled. It should say rumor.
Right.
But to each their own, I guess. At long last, it appears the Metroid Prime trilogy is finally coming to Nintendo Switch. Metroid Prime Remastered is reportedly only a few months away, with remastered versions of the second and third games also planned. According to Jeff Grubb of GameSpot's sister site Giant Bomb, Nintendo is planning to release Metroid Prime Remastered this holiday season, likely to match up with the 20th anniversary. He also said it's possible dual stick and gyro controls could both be included, and the improvements will likely be greater in Metroid Prime than in 2 or 3. It could very well be one of the biggest games to release on Nintendo Switch in the latter half of the year for Nintendo, and it will be the second new Metroid game in as many years. Metroid Dread was itself a revival of the long-dead DS game initially planned in the early to mid-2000s. Though the Metroid series as a whole has seen something of a resurgence with both Metroid Dread and Metroid Samus Returns, that has not been the case for the Metroid Prime subseries. The latest game was a cooperative spin-off, Metroid Prime Federation Force, which deviated greatly from the other game's formula and was poorly received. Metroid Prime 4 is also currently in development for Nintendo Switch. Having been announced more than 5 years ago, the project was restarted at Retro Studios in early 2019. It's unclear when it will be released. So yeah, that's a rumor there, kind of possibly getting Metroid Prime. This is a rumor we've heard a lot.
For the 15th time.
Yeah, this is kind of a tired rumor a little bit, but do you think there's any legs on it? Just the fact that it is the 20th anniversary. They did did big things for Mario on his 35th, where they had a limited release for the freaking old games
and took them away.
What do you think that there's any possibility it could be real this time, just based off of circumstances? I don't know.
This is like the third time that we've heard about this, if not more.
Yeah, way more than
that.
I feel like since the Switch has come out, it's like a couple times a year at least where it's like, oh, it's coming. I'm
just not going to hold my breath. I'm not going to hold my breath because they've said it so many times that it's like, I don't trust it.
I mean, if it happens, it happens. That's great.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not personally, in a rush for it because I still have them. So, right. But if they do want to put them all together and actually do that, that'd be great. That'd be a good stopgap between here and 4, because I'm sure 4 is not coming for at least another couple of years.
I mean, if they just rebooted the development in 2019, they're going on 3 years now? They still got a couple more years before that's probably ready to come out. If it was as bad of a shape as they said.
So people like Adrian are actually a misnomer. So somebody who plays a lot of the older games on older systems, not everybody's like that. There's a lot of new gamers who are Switch fans who would love to have everything on their Switch. So, I mean, there's something to be said for, there's a market for that. That's awesome.
Absolutely. I'm an old man when it comes to that kind of stuff. I love, that people can do that. And I'm most likely going to buy them if they do release a collection on Switch. But that's just for me personally. I'm not gonna fall out and have a tantrum if they don't do them. I got them, I got them. I played them. I was there. But like you were saying, there's people who were born and their birth year starts with a 2, and they
Garrett's one of them, right?
And they have no idea that these are even games. So
yeah,
I can definitely get behind putting all these stuff that we know of that would be new to them and bringing it to the new system.
Yeah. I mean, even for me though, I'm not going to go out of my way and buy those original GameCube discs. Cause I mean, one, they're crazy expensive now. I'm sure they're going to pay an arm and a leg for it. But then on top of that, I would love to be able to play it in bed on my Switch, to have that portability option to me, which sounds fantastic. Cause even if I buy the GameCube disc, I still got to sit in front of a TV or a monitor to play that thing. And so that's one thing that's I would love to have those, and I hope they do come out sooner than later, because just to have that ease of use kind of thing. But I totally understand, you can find it other places, but man, I really hope they come eventually, because like you said, A, there's a demographic that hasn't played at all, and B, there's a demographic of like me who just I'm not going to go out and buy a GameCube in the games because it's financially
crazy,
ridiculous. And then and also it'd be nice to just play from the comfort of my bedroom instead of having to be okay, see you, Trudy, I'm gonna go to the garage and play some Metroid or something. We don't have a TV in our room. Yeah, so I don't know. I hope it comes around. I mean, I've mentioned this previously on the show. I've actually never played Prime 1 or 3. I've only ever played 2.
That is so weird.
I don't.
How did you only get to 2, I wonder?
So I got a GameCube for Christmas, and it was the one with the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition, which I told you guys last week I got rid of, which is sad because it's worth so much money.
It's $200 now.
And I remember getting that. I remember getting Smash Brothers Melee, and I think I got a gift card or something. I ended up going and getting Prime 2 for some reason instead of Prime 1. I don't know why. I was just a dumb kid, and I was like, hey, this one looks cool, and picked it up. And let me tell you, it was cool. I loved the the music. I love the story. Like, it was super cool, like
Oh.
the Dark Samus and all this stuff. But yeah, I've never
Absolutely.
played one. So like, I would love for that to come out in an HD collection because I'd love to know the beginning of the story of the one I played before.
I mean, all three of them rule. Like, they're all excellent games. It's just some are. It's like picking the worst of the best. Where it's like, if you had to pick one, which one is the least? But they're all phenomenal games. Retro definitely did their thing with those. So you are not going to be missing out.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. JJ, do you have any experience with Prime? Have you? I mean, I know you GameCube area you're not super familiar with, but have you ever seen gameplay of it or anything? Or
yeah, so I actually had a GameCube for a little while. This would have been early 2000s, like 2004, 2005. We ended up getting a GameCube, and I played a lot of like Harry Potter. There was a Harry Potter game that I played
know the one
religiously, like loved that. And then also I played some Super Mario Brothers games. Obviously, I don't remember if I played Paper Mario on there or not. I don't really recall. I remember playing some Mario games on the thing, and I think that I played a little bit of Metroid Prime 1 on that. Okay. And that was actually borrowed from a friend, and I wasn't real impressed. I mean, it's fun, but it's not my kind of game, and I don't remember much about it. But I think it was part one.
Would you be inclined to give it another shot since it's been so long? And now that
now
you have a different relationship with the medium.
Yeah, I would definitely try it now because I'm a totally different gamer now, and like I do this and enjoy it, and it's therapeutic for me, to sit and play video games and play them badly, But yeah, I would definitely try to play it again. But I don't have a GameCube, so it would be a situation where I'd have to wait and play it on the Switch.
And one of the perks that I hope they would add to it is coming out on the Switch. I hope they would update. I mean, in which this rumor kind of mentions that they would update the controls, because that was one janky thing with the controls, at least in Prime 2, was like it was single stick. So like as far as like you move with the one stick, and then if you wanted to look around, you had to hold the right trigger. You hold on right trigger, and then you can like move around. So it's a first person shooter that's like a single stick first person shooter. Like
they needed more buttons than the GameCube had. So something had to be sacrificed, and it was that C stick, because that would have been the look around. But that's how you change your visors and stuff.
Yeah. So I really hope they would like figure out a way to utilize the D-pad and different things. I don't know. Figure out a way on the Switch to actually make it a first-person shooter where you can use both analog sticks for movement and looking around. Because man, like that was tricky. I've gone back and played Prime 2 recently, like I don't know, in the past 9 months or something. Not quote unquote recently, and the first thing I noticed was like, oh shoot, yeah, like it was so hard to like, especially when it's like all of a sudden there's a ton of enemies and you're like looking around, and it's like this is really hard to manage all these enemies when like the controls suck. Like it was really hard because in my head
they didn't suck back then though. That's all we had. I mean, that was like shortly after Halo, and you got to remember that was probably in the development side around the same time. I don't so first-person shooters weren't necessarily like as commonplace as they are now. So
I don't know.
first-person console shooters.
I played a lot of Medal of Honor back on the PS1 and PS2.
Yeah, and I guarantee if you go back now and try to play it on PS1,
not great.
Right.
So can I say that bringing that up right now, just talking about the GameCube and talking about Metroid and stuff like that, it got me pissed off all over again that I didn't play the GameCube enough and then sold it before I really became a video gamer. And I'm like, man, I sold it and made no money. I think we sold it for like $25 or $30 or something like that. And it's like, God, if I would have just had that now, like how much money could I have in my hand? Like, but also just be able to play games. There were GameCube had some really fun games.
Oh, it had an excellent
Harry Potter games.
Yeah.
Like, they had some great stuff. They had some Resident Evil game that was specific to GameCube.
Yep. That
was like, what, for a Nintendo? Like, wow. So don't sleep on it. If you guys have one, don't sell it unless it's to us.
Oh, don't worry.
Know what I mean? Yeah.
They'll
nobody will let go of it now, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I'll have to be long dead, or like in some serious debt or something like that to get rid of it.
So I'm in your will, right? If anything ever happens, I get
Oh,
all your
yes, of
gaming
course.
stuff. Is that how it works? Okay, cool.
Specifically in that section.
Just for the GameCube.
If anything happens that's not questionable, like okay. You know what I mean? Like if there's like a questionable, like Garrett was the last one that saw him.
Right. I have to die of non-Morlang causes. Like you cannot be around me.
Whoa.
Absolutely.
I wasn't claiming anything like that. I don't know.
I'm just saying, it's a pretty good chunk of change these games are worth, and it's you know, somebody could get knocked off for them is all. That's all I'm saying.
Can I just say, dibs on your Game Boy Advance with the Famicom? Look, I just, you know what I mean? Like I call dibs, and I
mean, as long as you promise to play it.
Yeah, I would for sure.
All right. Well, that's enough. That's enough calling dibs on Adrian's stuff when he's dead.
In the off chance that he dies, right?
I think he's writing it down.
I think I need to watch my back.
He has a notepad out. He's writing all this down.
Right. I was like, I put it right here. Watch my back.
Lock the doors.
Right.
All right. This next news story comes from Push Square. Written by Sammy Barker over there. God of War Ragnarok dev Sony Santa Monica demands respect after unsavory week. There's the subheading here. Passion should not be toxic. According to reliable but ultimately secondhand sources, God of War Ragnarok was due to be dated for PS5 and PS4 this week. Reports corroborated by multiple noteworthy journalists suggest Sony had a PS blog post lined up with details on the collector's editions, pre-orders, and development progress ready to roll. After a change of plans, a plan was preempted by the previous entry's director, Cory Barlog, however, all hell broke loose. Things turned particularly sour when it emerged that some unscrupulous fans, in quotes, I like how they put that in quotes there, fans, had been sending penis pictures to employees in exchange, in quotes, for the release date. Ultimately,
in exchange, like it's the same value. That's the best part.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's all resulted in a strong statement from creator Sony Santa Monica demanding respect. Here's a tweet from Santa Monica Studio. It says, every single person at Santa Monica Studio is working to create a game that we're proud of. One that we hope you will enjoy playing once released. Our fans inspire us, and we understand the passion and desire for more information. But that passion should not be toxic, nor come at the expense of any human being's dignity. Let's celebrate our community by treating each other, every gamer and developer alike, with respect. Santa Monica Studio. That's all there is for the story, but what kind of messed up world are we living in that, like...
hugely messed up.
Something as dumb as a video game.
It's a video game.
Yeah,
it's a video game.
Something as just small and stupid and whatever as a video game that you're not only sending, like, there's been apparently like death threats and crazy stuff, but also like essentially like what, sexual assault, like sending like or whatever, like sending dick pics to people. Like, what is wrong with human beings?
I really want the audio clipped out of Garrett saying sending dick pics. Like, I want to have that audio.
I mean, it's a fact.
Like, the fact that you said to say that out loud about a video game.
It's in the article.
This is the first time I've ever said the word penis on the podcast, and I've said it twice, you know? Because it was in the article. I had to read it.
Somehow, some little part of my brain thought you were going to say ever, and I was like, man, that's a long time for you to...
I've never in my entire life said the word penis. This is the first time I ever said it. Like, wee-wee. It's wee-wee.
My wee-wee, Mom.
my no-no spot. That was the way Garrett always referred to it. He's like, you almost kicked me in my no-no spot.
My privates. Yeah. Oh, my God. No, this is ridiculous. It's a video game. It's what else? How little do you have to have going on that this is like the thing that takes you over the edge? Well, apparently
if you're sending a picture of it, it's not little. You know what I mean? Like, you're proud. You're like hella proud of that stuff.
Not necessarily.
But how little do you have to have going on that this is the thing that tips you over the edge into just a flying rage that you're not going to be able to know when a video game comes out? That doesn't...
I don't... Yeah,
I can't get in that headspace.
Like, I feel like, like, I don't understand. I'm right there with you because it's like, you don't have anything else going on in your life that's like I don't know, more important that you could be dealing with. Like the fact that this is the most important thing in their life, that they're willing to either A, threaten someone's life, or B, sexually assault people.
Commit a crime.
Why?
Commit a crime.
Yeah, over
because you don't know when a
game.
game comes out.
Just for a piece of information, not even for the game.
Not
just
even
for a
right.
piece of
That's
information.
That's the craziest part. You don't even say, can I get a copy of the game? Can I get like a limited edition? Can I get a PS5? Nothing. Hey, can you at least tell me when I can go out and buy it?
By the way, here's a picture of my dick.
Right. Thanks for the information. Equal trade-off. Here you go.
This picture is worth at least 3 release dates. So I want the release date for God of War and your next 2 games that are unannounced. So please,
it's also worth at least 3 years. How about that?
Oh,
in the right court.
I don't understand it. It's like, go get a life. Like I reposted it on Twitter in my story. And it's just like, everyone needs to chill the heck out right now. Like,
it's not that serious.
There's a lot more pressing things going on in the world right now. And if you're worried about like, okay, there's a freaking war going on in Ukraine. Like there's stuff happening.
Gas
in
is
the US,
$8.
Like, yeah. Like everyone.
We got a lot going on.
Like, why don't you worry about something else? Like, oh man, I don't know.
Food is incredibly expensive. Nobody can buy a house. We got a lot going on versus knowing, but we don't know when God of War comes out. None of that matters.
Yeah, I don't know. Blows my mind. So let's treat everyone with some respect. Let's all have a good reset today. Monday, July 4th, 2022. Today's a day. Let's just all take a quick reset, shut down, and let's like
go outside. Let's touch a little grass. Let's,
Yeah. And let's like reboot in safe mode. I'm gonna use some PC terms for all you like gamer dorks out there. Reboot in safe mode, and I'll just like, hey, you know what? We can work together here. We can all, let's make this place. Let's make this a better place. Let's not be jerks to each other. All right.
This is very, 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 very low on the totem pole.
Like it's not even on the totem pole.
Right.
Like, the totem pole is like 30 foot tall, like high, and this is like buried in the ground next to the totem pole. It's not even part of it, you know? Like bizarre.
Ridiculous.
Chill out, people. I don't have much more to add to that story, but I had to bring it up just so I can yell at people on the internet. Like, hey, be cool. Just calm down and keep your penis in your pants. Jeez.
You're getting calls. Your mom was sitting be like, Garrett, you said
Garrett.
dick pics like 4 times.
That's fine.
And like your
That's
Grammy
fine.
was
Kiss your mother
listening.
with that mouth?
Grammy was...
Grammy, I'm sorry. You had to hear me say dick pics so many times in this episode. I apologize, but you know
She's
what?
grown. She knows what anatomy is, man. It's all right.
Yeah.
All right. This last news story, I didn't want to get to it because it makes me so sad, but
If you only knew how badly I had to bite my tongue to not say a bunch of stuff right now.
I know.
I
know you did. I know you did.
I struggle so hard right now.
Listen. I'm proud of you. That took a lot of courage. That took a lot of effort.
It really,
You did
really
it. You did it though. You did it.
Thank you, Adrian.
You didn't say a thing. I know.
I almost said, like, Grammy's seen some dick pics. This is not, you know what I mean? I almost said that out loud. And
they were probably the ones that were with the flash cubes,
Oh, you know that it was the ones where you can't.
Where you had to put the blanket over your head.
You gotta stay still.
Right.
Stay still, damn it.
Don't you move now. We only
lighting
have
the
so many
fire right
shots.
now.
And it's the flash lamp up there, and it's the cubes. All right, don't move.
My goodness. You should have seen his no-no
Gee
spot.
willikers.
my grandma's not
Jumping
200 years old.
Jehoshaphat.
I don't know. She's not from the 1800s.
Oh, well, that is true because Garrett's mom is like 40. She just turned 40, so like,
Fair point.
For real.
Fair point. So they were Polaroids. All right, we'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's move on to this last news story. This is a sad one. Sucker Punch clarifies that no one is working on a Sly Cooper or Infamous game. This comes from Polygon, written by Anna Diaz. Yes, sad news, especially for my buddy Sir Princelot. I just wanted to
Crush
feel
his
bad for him.
dreams.
Pour one out. Sucker Punch has quashed rumors that the studio has been working on reboots for either Infamous or Sly Cooper franchises on Friday. The studio, which is also known for creating Ghost of Tsushima, said in a blog post that it currently has no plans to revisit either franchise. The company cited a need to devote its teams to larger and more complex projects that require the full attention of the studio. With our focus on our current project, we have no plans to revisit Infamous or Sly Cooper right now, and no other studio is currently working on projects related to those franchises either. Kind of crushing any, because there's some rumors too, like, oh, maybe someone else is working on a remaster.
Right.
No one. Sucker Punch isn't working on it. No other studios are working on it. They are dead and in the ground, those franchises, for now. The clarification comes after a sprinkling of rumors that either franchise could be making comeback in May and March. An outlet reported rumors of a new Infamous game following tweets from an industry insider account, NGT, that claimed an announcement of a new title would be coming this year. Andrew Goldfarb, a communications manager at Sucker Punch, tweeted that he hoped that the clarification would put some misleading rumors to bed. Although the studio hasn't announced anything new, the post noted that Sucker Punch will be doing some additional work to keep some of its older games alive. We know many people still play these games even today, so we'll be performing maintenance on Infamous 2 UGC servers soon to move them to a new home.
All 12 of you.
And and running a bit longer. We will eventually need to sunset these, but want to keep them running for as long as possible for players who are still active. We're also working to put Cole's Legacy DLC for Infamous Second Son, which was previously only part of the Collector's Edition on PlayStation Store in all territories for anyone who missed it. So, huge bummer there. Sly Cooper, Infamous, like both of those franchises had fantastic games in it, and the fact that we're not going to see any sort of like HD remasters or even sequels to these games, it's a big bummer. Now, I don't have a huge attachment to them. I enjoyed the games, but to me, it's just like it's at the bummer level, not so much of like, oh my gosh, why? Like,
I'm ready to jump.
But for you guys, like, what are some of your guys' experiences with Sly Cooper or Infamous? I know, like, Jay didn't have a PS3 to play Infamous, but Adrian, did you have much experience with the Infamous franchise?
Yeah, I mean, I played Infamous 1 and 2 and Second Son, and I think that they're really good games. I would have loved to see, a new entry in the franchise, or, I mean, I feel like Infamous isn't that old yet. It just came out on PS3.
It's just the fact that it's locked to PS3 though.
Right, that's the issue. And I think, aren't they trying to put it on the new PS Plus?
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, who's telling? There's no telling.
Who's to say? PlayStation Plus is a mess, so I don't know. Who knows?
But I mean, they were excellent games. I don't know why they don't want to do anything, or why they don't want to tap anybody to do anything with, especially Sly. I feel like there's been people asking for new Sly games since the old one, finished up, which was, I think, what was the last one Sucker Punch worked on? It was 3, wasn't it? Because 4 was a different developer?
I think so. I think that's right. I don't know if I played the newer ones. I think any ones I played were older ones, but I can look it up real quick if you want to vamp for a second.
But I mean, this is kind of like I'm used to this pain, with Naughty Dog and them not wanting anything to do with Jack anymore.
That's
so
true. Man, that's a shame right there. Freaking Jack was such a good
Are you
franchise.
kidding?
So good.
All the technology and all the resources they have now, and they really don't want to go back and visit that world with all the stuff that they could do.
Bizarre.
Whatever.
Yeah, the last Sly game that Sucker Punch worked on was Sly 3: Honor Among Thieves, and came out in 2005. There was a fourth one called Sly Cooper's Thieves in Time. That was a PS3 game. It came out in 2013, but as developed by Sanzaru Games.
Was it well received?
It got a. It
was okay,
it was a good game. It looks like on Metacritic Metacritic has like a 75, where the other ones are like 83, 88, 86. Right. So it's lower than the rest of them, but not bad. So
So okay. Yeah, I mean, it's odd to me. I get it. Artistically, you want to go on and you want to try to make new things, and you want to try to, push the envelope, but you can push the envelope with the classics as well. There's nothing stopping you from taking that industry leading tech and putting it into, it's also, for me, it's a good way to not forget where you came from.
Yeah.
Especially as a business and as a company. To, even if you're gonna just do like a remaster or something like that, it's good to keep in touch with your roots, because you can eventually get way too far out in the weeds from what people like about Sucker Punch games or what people like about Naughty Dog games, and just lose your way and your vision completely.
Yeah.
And then start making odd choices like remastering your first game that just came out in 2013, and you remastered it already once. But
it's a remake now, though.
oh yeah, excuse me,
remake,
of course,
and
yeah,
in enormous quotation marks.
Let's not hate on it, okay? And
no, but I'm just saying those are people ask for those games for a reason, and it's because they were good franchises that deserve to continue to exist and be improved upon, even if it's not by you. The fact that they said, yeah, we're not working on it and nobody else is either, I don't know, that kind of came off as like a little vindictive. Like, if you're not working on it, let somebody else do something with it.
Yeah, why not? It's just
don't let it sit there dormant.
Yeah, I mean, so there was, I actually didn't realize, I totally forgot about, there was an HD remake collection of the Sly Cooper games on PS3.
Yeah,
but I feel like that makes it easier. Like, it's already on PS3, like, so it's already up res. Like,
just bump it up again.
Bump it up a little bit more, you know? Like, I feel like it's like the groundwork is there. Like, it's not like you're going from scratch from these PS2 games. Like, it's just like, okay,
redraw the textures, put it in 4K 60 and put it on PS5. Why not?
Yeah. Like, I feel like there's a base, there's a foundation kind of set with an HD collection already being there. I mean, hopefully with PS Plus now with the streaming service, hopefully we can get that. That'd be cool. It actually, so the Sly Cooper collection was on PlayStation Now, but they took it off when they switched over to this new service this last month. So hopefully they bring it back. Because again, and like right now it's completely unplayable. But
Second Son has been part of the PS Plus collection on the PS5.
That's true.
Since they changed up, and so that's actually a pretty great game.
Yeah,
and that came out in like 2014. So they
haven't touched it though. Like, I'm sure it could. No. It could do not necessarily a facelift because it's only a PS4 game, but you can unlock the frame rate. You can maybe add. It's gonna take a little bit of finagling, but maybe add ray tracing, do something.
Yeah. It's just pretty incredible. Like, I understand we're not game developers, and like those things do take probably more work than we make it sound here on the show.
Oh, absolutely,
I'm not gonna claim like, oh, they're a bunch of lazy blah blah blah. Like,
no. Except for Square Enix. Except for Square
Enix. Like, we understand that those things are way harder than they. It's easier to say them than to do them. But at the same time, yeah, again, like you said with the statement, it almost seemed like vindictive or just kind of like, or like tired, like they're just sick of it. Like, stop. Like, we're not going to touch, like really almost like they have an issue. Like, no, we don't want to touch them. Like,
right. It was unprovoked.
Like,
I feel like
there's a pride behind it. Like, no, we've moved on. We're better than that. And it's like, but those are awesome franchises.
Right. Nobody
like,
said
why?
You can't do new stuff and old stuff. You just did Ghost. You could do Ghost and then do Sly and then do Ghost again right after that.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully that changes in the next couple of years. It did sound like from the story, like there's another possibly unannounced thing they're working on, whether it's connected to Ghost of Tsushima or not, I don't know. But maybe once they finish that, they'll rethink things and work on something else. But I don't know. And until then, you'll just have to find a PS3 in the wild, find Sly Cooper HD collection, find Infamous.
Or Vita. It's on Vita too.
It is on Vita. That's true. Or hopefully they just bring them back to PlayStation Plus. Because again, Infamous, all the Infamous games and all the Sly Cooper games were on PlayStation Now, and then they all got taken off with the Switch. So
yeah, and then they're cloud streaming though, aren't they? Because they're PS3 games.
Yeah, right. It would only be cloud streaming, but I mean that's better than nothing.
I guess.
Right? Man. All right, that's it for the news stories this week. Now it is time for our Patreon ad. This is a part of the show where I tell you to go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Support us over there, starting at just $1 a month, $1. And that gets you episodes early and ad-free, such as this show, such as Super Gamer Book Club. Go check it out. It's just $1. And you know what? That helps us tremendously. It sounds like just $1, but you know what? When enough people send just $1, that's a big amount, and that helps us buy games, helps us buy equipment, helps us ship things to each other. Helps helps us make an ultimately better show for you guys. You can also support us at the $5, $10, $15 a month levels, where you can get different perks such as the show notes early, so you know what we're going to be talking about. Leave your own comments on there. You can get shout outs on the show. You can even be a Patreon producer, which is our $15 tier. Pitch us segments. If you have a cool idea for the show you want us to try out, support us over there. You can chit chat with us, kind of plan it out, help us plan it out, and yeah, go for it and see if we can make some cool content with you. Collaborate a little bit over there. As I mentioned earlier in the show, we're like $10, $15 away from that $100 mark. I think it's about $10. If you support us at what was that? That'd be our sponsor tier. You can be a Super Gamer sponsor. Boom, we're ready. We are on the edge of jumping off and recording our new show. Yeah, Super Later Boys. So support us over there. Get us to that goal. We've been wanting this for ever. So I think that's been a goal on our Patreon since the very beginning. So the Patreon's been around for a couple years and it's always been our goal. So get us there. That would be fantastic. We would love it. You can also support us over on twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys, where we're stream the episodes live while we're recording. We're actually streaming today, 4th of July. It's 1:30 right now. You could have been joining us. And yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, that means you can link it with your Twitch account, and it's called Prime Gaming. And from there, you get a free sub every month. You have to remember to re-up it each month. It's not automatic like your normal Twitch subscriptions work, but come over to our channel, hit subscribe, use that Prime Gaming sub, and then costs you nothing. We get $5 and you get some sweet emotes around Twitch to use. So check it out, help us out. We very much appreciate it. And now let's get back to the show. Alrighty, gentlemen, it's now time for what you playing. So, JJ, what you playing?
All right, so I've been playing. Wait for it. I've actually been playing video games. Okay, and I'm doing this. I'm dragging it out because I want Adrian to be.
It's not like you don't have time.
That I've been playing some Mass Effect.
Ooh,
and so,
baby.
Yeah. Guys, let me tell you, like Mass Effect, I've been playing it now for a little over a week, and I haven't been able to spend as much time as I'd like to spend in it, but I really love the world, dude. I love the design of this game. Like, yeah, it's a little older game. I'm playing the Legendary Edition on Xbox Game Pass, so there's everything that you could ever want for this game. It's aliens, it's a war, it's in the future, it's awesome. If you guys haven't played Mass Effect, give it a chance, because I'm glad that I did. Because it's one of those games where I'm like, oh, everybody said like, oh, you got to play Mass Effect eventually, and I'm finally doing it, and I'm like, where have I been? Like,
you have you're at the tip of the iceberg right now.
I am. I've just barely been get going, and it's honestly so much fun. I'm loving it.
To be you.
The story is great too. That's the great thing is like the story. It's got like a really fun story to it, and I love like sci-fi. I love it, and I'm having a blast with it. The other thing I'm playing is we blew off the dust off the old Wii, and got the Wii hooked up in my son's room upstairs, and the whole family was kind of chilling out and playing some Super Paper Mario.
Ooh.
And that's a game that like it's always great. It's always fun. We've beaten it many times, but just to keep going back through and trying to catch things that we may have not gotten, but just enjoying it because it's so much fun. If you guys haven't played Super Paper Mario on the Nintendo Wii, man, you're missing out. This game is golden.
Yep.
And in fact, I started telling my son, I was like, dude, I think they have like a new version of Paper Mario. It was like Origami, and
the Origami
King on the Switch.
Yep. Yeah.
And like he's like, nah. Like, he's not into it. Yeah, he's not into it. He's like, origami? Like, that sounds stupid. And I'm like,
tell him to start it. All you got to do is start it, and you're on your way.
Right, and that's when I did the little backhand move, and I was like, watch your lip, boy, you know. So I said, well, we might have to check it out and see when it's on sale or something like that, if it ever is. But no, the Paper Mario games are so much fun, and I feel like of all the games that I played, which I played several of the Paper Mario games, I feel like Super Paper Mario on the Wii has been my favorite so far. I mean, it's just the art style, the story to it. It's fun. It's cheesy, and it's like it's great because even my little one, she's just about 7, and she loves the game. You know, just has a blast with it. So we probably played it like a year and a half, 2 years ago. We're busting it out and playing it, and it's like it's all new again. You know, so it's a lot of fun.
Man, I love to hear that. Both of those were just right up my alley picks, man.
Mass Effect is one of those franchises. I've only ever played a little bit of 3, and I know I've told this story on the podcast before.
I don't know how you keep running into these kinds of scenarios.
But no, so this one makes a little more sense, kind of. 3, right when I got a PlayStation 3, I got PlayStation Plus, and it was one of the free games that they were giving away on Play. It was right towards the beginning when they first started giving away free games on PlayStation Plus, and that was one of them, was Mass Effect 3. And so I was like, okay, I downloaded it and started playing it, and everyone's like, wait, what? Like, why aren't you playing the first 2? They're incredible games. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's whatever, it's fine.
That's what I was gonna ask. I'm like, so you saw that this was 3, and nothing crossed your mind that, you know, like, maybe I should go pick up the first one, like, ever at all?
At this point, I think, weren't the first ones originally they were only on Xbox, right?
No, if they're giving it away, that means the trilogy was out by then.
Okay, because for some reason I thought that was part of it too. Is like at least the first one. I don't know about the second, but the first one was only available on Xbox 360.
The first one was only available on Xbox until the trilogy came out, the Mass Effect trilogy, and that came out on both PS3 and 360. I think it was. Let me see.
Because I feel like keep talking. I don't know, because I think that's, again, I can't remember exactly because it was, I don't know, 7-8 years ago or more.
2012 it came out.
But in my head, I felt like the reason I did that was because I couldn't get my hands on the first one. But maybe I was just misinformed at the time. Maybe I just, most likely because I was, I'm a dummy. I probably just didn't do the research.
Do we have to do a book club? Is that what you're telling me?
Do we?
That's what it sounds like, because JJ's in the middle of playing it. I've played it a ton of times. You've never played it.
I mean, I played the third one.
I mean, the first one. We're not. There's no way. If we did all 3 of them, it'd be like a book club in like February.
Yeah, right. All right, maybe put it on the calendar. We'll figure it out.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Adrian, what have you been playing?
I just finished Eastward, like I was talking about before when we were answering that question. It is a phenomenal game, in my opinion. I know a lot of people. One of the big criticisms is the pacing of it, because it is a slow burn, and it's hard for a lot of people to get into those kinds of stories, especially with people's attention spans nowadays, thanks to how media is presented to people, just because you get everything right away, or you're watching stuff in 60-second clips or something like that. So a lot of people's patience is not trained for prolonged storytelling. And I'm not trying to be insulting or anything like that. That's just that's a fact, is that people are just used to quicker content nowadays.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, I love a slow burn. Like, I love, Lord of the Rings, or, some of the best. I think he is not the best person, but the Quentin Tarantino scenes where it's just the people talking at a dinner table or in a bar or something like that. Like, and in the back of your mind that something's getting ready to pop off, and you just have to watch the whole conversation and the escalation build up to it. I think it's just, it's a masterclass in storytelling and building a scene.
I love his movies. I haven't watched a Quentin Tarantino movie in a long time. I should go rewatch some of his old ones. Like,
absolutely,
Inglourious Bastards is like one of my favorites.
That one was a good one. The one, Django.
Hateful Eight.
Yeah, Hateful Eight. Yeah,
Django.
And Django, when they had the dinner table scene.
Yes. I love the soundtrack of Django. Dude. I would listen to the soundtrack all the time. It was so good.
The German dude is like one of the greatest characters ever written and ever performed. That guy is brilliant in that turn on that character.
But yeah, I say all that to say I love a good slow burn. And this game, for me, did exactly what I wanted it to, because in my opinion, when you have to spend more time with the story, you spend more time in the world, you get more attached to the characters and the story, and that's exactly what happened for me. Is I cared about every character that we, our two main characters, every character that we came across and built relationships with. I wanted to see exactly where their stories went out. I hope for the best for all of them, all of that. So this game really struck a chord with me. I know it didn't come out this year, but I do think it's in my game of the year list so far. Yeah, if you can stand or if you do like a slow burn, I mean, it's not like a dead snail's pace, but it definitely
just compared
asks
to like
you to go along with it.
Yeah, compared to like with the general consensus of games that's coming out nowadays, it's just a little more like thought out, drawn out, like,
and it's only like 20 hours. So
that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, for an RPG, that's not bad at all.
That's not
that is really the main thing I kind of been crushing through. I started Republic Commando again, but I've played that before already, so I know what to expect. But I'll be ready for book club regardless.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Cool. I've also been playing Republic Commando. As I talked about at the beginning of the episode, I was not happy with the Switch port. I very quickly switched over to the PC port, and it's going a lot better. I mean, it's still, like I said, it's still rough because it's like, at least on Steam on the PC one, it's not HD, it's not upgraded at all. Like it's in like 4:3 aspect ratio, and it is like, it's rough looking, but it at least plays smoothly, especially with a controller. If you can hook a controller up or something, like it's pretty fine. But that's been interesting because I've played that little bits and pieces of that game. I had a friend who owned it, and I'd go visit him and hang out and play that game. But I never owned it because at that point I didn't own an original Xbox. I never played through the whole thing. So it's been interesting. I'm excited to talk about it more on the podcast at the end of the month with just getting the full story and everything there, getting to know the characters a little more. Because to me, it was just like, this is just a first-person shooter. Who cares about the story? Just run through it and blow stuff up, So it'll be interesting to be a little more intentional with the story. And
this feels like, and I'm not like saying it's necessarily the same high art quality, as other stuff, but I feel like it could have been, how Disney's on a run with the Star Wars TV shows right now? Yeah. This could have been one of them.
Oh, man. Yeah. It'd be a sick one. I mean, it'd be like Bad Batch, but during the Clone Wars, like before everything went bad,
Right.
Man. The other game I've been playing, which is a game I played before, it's been a while, it's been a couple years, is I've jumped back into The Forest, which actually that's another one I would recommend on the Steam sale. Pick it up. It's on sale right now on the Steam sale. It's a multiplayer survival game. You're on a plane, you're playing crashes, it's you and your son gets separated from you, it's an island full of cannibals, and the whole point of the game is you're trying to find your son while also surviving. You have like a hunger meter, a thirst meter, you got to craft like walls and tents, or not tents, like shelters, campfires, you got to go hunt your own food, but there's caves around the island you can explore, which give you clues as to where your son could be. I started playing it with my brother and the other night, and because he had never played it before, and man, we're having so much fun. So go get The Forest. It's a blast. I'm really enjoying getting back into it again. And there was this instance the other night, I want to tell this story. We were like just coming back from cutting some wood out, and we were trying to build something. We're like, it's dark. It was the middle of the night. It started raining, and in the game, if it starts raining and it's dark out, you start getting cold and you get hypothermia. So you got to quick get to the campfire before you catch hypothermia and die. But we're like coming up on the campfire, and I'm like looking off in the distance, and all we have is like these little lighters as like light. It's pitch black, like dark as it's just the darkest dark you could think of. And also I see this like silhouette in the darkness, almost like out in the distance. I'm like, is that a tree? A rock? Like, what is that? Like, I don't remember it being there, but it's not moving. It's just like standing there.
And then it starts bolting towards you.
And Jake's like, I think it's just a tree. Like, it's not moving. I'm like, all right. And I look away and I look back. And it's still just standing there. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fine. It's just a tree. So we're sitting there cooking some fish on the fire, getting ready to eat it, and then go to bed. I look back up again, and I'm like, it looks weird. Like, it didn't look like a tree. Like, it's short, and I'm like, but it still was just standing there. And suddenly I like looked a little closer. Like, I took a couple steps to get outside of the campfire to like maybe see better in the darkness, and suddenly exactly what you said, Adrian. Just like running. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a guy there. It's a person. It's a person. It's like I'm pulling out my axe. Like Jake's like, oh my gosh, like we're both freaking out. There was 3 of them, like these 3 people just out of the darkness sprint at our camp, and we're just like hacking them, beating them. Jake ends up going down. He dies. Like I'm trying. Oh man, it was terrifying. Like it was so scary because they just like stood there staring for the longest time, and all of a sudden these naked cannibal dudes come charging at us, like trying to eat us, and we're like, they're like, at one point I like look over, it's like eating Jake's body. I'm like, no, what's happening? Like, he's got her. Man, absolutely terrifying. So I love this game because like it has like the fun elements, like all these survival elements and stuff. Like you got to cook, you got to find fresh water, you got to find out you can craft things. But then it has those awesome horror elements like that, where it's just like boom, out of nowhere, like all hell breaks loose, and it's just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? So yeah, check out The Forest. It's on sale on Steam. It's a blast, and oh man, so much fun.
Rad.
Cool. Have you guys ever played The Forest? Any of you guys tried it out?
No, not yet. This is the first time I've actually heard of it.
Okay, yeah, go check it out, because I think there's a sequel coming out soon called like The Sons of the Forest or something like that. It was announced like a couple years ago.
Is this the one right here? It's like $5.
It's like big yellow font, says The Forest.
Yeah,
like,
I see it.
Yeah, that's the one there. Yeah, there's a sequel. It's announced back in like 2020 or 2019 called Sons of the Forest. And I want to get through the story of the first one, you know, so that way I'm ready for the sequel. But the trailer for the sequel looks terrifying as well. Like it's like so creepy. So yeah, I'm stoked. I love. It's like I never really got into Minecraft with the survival stuff. Like I just. I don't know. It just always felt childish, and like the graphics wise, like didn't interest me. I mean, I understand. I don't think it's bad. I'm not going to say like, oh, it's bad graphics. Like I don't care about how it looks. It just, the art style wasn't interesting to me. But like The Forest, not only on a gameplay level, but also graphically, and then yeah, with the horror elements in there, I'm like, this is my kind of like survival game. Like give me a survival game where there's like imminent death, you know, around every corner. So it's awesome. Cool. Well, thank you all so much for listening this week. We appreciate each and every one of you who has stopped by the stream live, who are watching later on youtube.com/supergamerboys, or listening on podcast services around the world. You can find us everywhere. Listen to us. Just make sure to subscribe, like videos, like the podcast, leave reviews. That helps us tremendously. If you want to support us, help us make cool things, go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Help fund that new show. We're this close, literally like $10 away, I think. So even if we got one Super Gamer sponsor for, you know, the support us monthly, we hit that goal. So
we can make
help
it happen.
Help us out over there. sgbstore.com. You can support us over there. Get some sweet merch. We got t-shirts, we got phone cases, we got stickers, we got masks, whatever you're looking for. Coffee mugs, we got it. Rate and review us, like I said before, podcast services. Make sure to give those thumbs up on YouTube videos. Leave comments. All that stuff helps with the algorithms, YouTube algorithm, Apple Podcast algorithm. Basically, the whole world is run on an algorithm. So help us beat it by, you know, interacting with our stuff we put out there. Shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. Remember, you can find them on Spotify with the links below, or look them up on Apple Music. I believe they're on Bandcamp, iTunes, different places to purchase the music. Help support those wonderful artists, letting us use their fantastic music on our show. You can find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
They can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
And JJ, how about you?
You can always find me on Twitter and Instagram at JJ Purdom, and you can find me each and every week at the Suplex City Wrestling Podcast, produced right here in-house by the Super Gamer Boys, mostly by Garrett. Garrett just produces it every week. He does all of my witch work. You know, like we make him edit and make us sound good. Scott Falder and myself talk pro wrestling each and every week, and it's a fun jaunt. It's me actually helming the show, so it's a little bit different. It's kind of a different version of me that you end up getting. One of my schizophrenic personalities runs that show and runs it effortlessly each and every week. This week we're talking a bunch of wrestling nonsense, but also What If, the What If series. Ooh. What if Hulk Hogan never came to the WWF in 1984, And who would Vince have went with as the guy who carried the banner of pro wrestling into the Rock and Wrestling Connection in the 80s? Who would have been their big star if Hogan wouldn't have left the AWA? We'll talk about that this week.
All right, sweet. Well, that's all I got for the show this week. JJ, take us out.
All right, for Homeboy, Adrian Holmes, for Garrett Morlang, and for myself, JJ Purnham. We are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
Could you not wear that stupid hat anymore, dude? Like, seriously, I get it was a bit, but like, it's over. Like, it sucks.
You
know, like,
keep
need to
bringing
knock it
attention to it. We don't just. He's gonna eventually get tired that we don't bring attention to it and stop wearing it. I guarantee it.
off. So you're saying if we just ignore it,
It'll go away. Yeah.
Never. Pepsi for life.